Hello, I'm Congressman Ralph Norman, and I want to thank each of you for joining me with Conversations in Congress. We have a great guest today, Tibi Czentye, who's got a story to tell, particularly as he escaped from Romania and now operates a very successful business. And Tibi, kind of go into detail, or a little bit of detail on what your story, how it happened, and how you ended up in Rock Hill.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and also I think it's my duty to share with many Americans who don't really know what is socialism and this dictatorial system which can destroy your life. Some people give the example with Sweden and Denmark and all these North state countries. It's like socialist. No, they don't know what they're talking about. They are based on the capitalist system, and they have one social program for the people, but it's not based in, the structure is not socialism. So the socialists, how happened, they promise us they're gonna give us everything for free to make us happy. The people vote for them, and after a while they were not able to keep their promise, and beside to step back from the power, they keep the power, which means they close down the border, and they start to force us to do stuff what they decide. We have not worked. We were not able to do nothing. They nationalized everything. The hospital.
But go over. You grew up in Romania.
Yes.
You had a family. You worked different jobs. How is it that you decided to take the risk that you took to get to America?
All right. So the socialists they were not able to give us what they promised, and therefore they start to lock us down, and they start to give us minimum wage, and the people very easy slide on the wrong direction, and they start to work less. And then everybody was able to survive, but in the very low base. So in case if I was young on that time, very young, and I had goals, and I was very proud, even now I am. And I tried to pull up my family and also show to my parents kind of thanks through my way of life and work and family. And I realized I was not able to do it there. One, if I work hard and I'm doing better than others, but they don't pay me more, where is my attraction to work more and better? The option two, then the meaning, okay, work, and I'm one stupid guy, Tibi, just go do your job and maybe God gonna pay you back, but not the society. The number two, I had the option to step back, work less like the other ones, and just be happy with whatever the society give me. And the option three, if I'm who I am and proud and I want to prove and the sky is the limit and fight with this life, the option was to risk my life and go in one free society where the society appreciate me to my way of life and my way of work.
And how old were you when you decided this?
I was 30 years old.
30?
Yeah.
And how long did you plan to get out of Romania? How'd you plot your course, I guess?
It was like after then I married, it started to grow up in me that man and that prove and work hard and pull up your families, and so the kids change when you touch your kids, everything gets changed in your life. So that moment when I touched them, I realized, wow, I'm dead. So
you left your wife?
Yeah.
Your parents? Did you have both parents living at the time?
My dad was dead, only my mom and my
your
sister.
Mom. And how many children did you have?
2.
So you left your wife,
Chris and Alex,
the children, your mom, and risk. The options for you were slim. If you got caught, what would happen to you had you gotten caught?
So there, on that times, it was not how they are doing now on the southern border. On that time in our country, the soldiers on the border, they were staying with the guns inside, not with the guns outside. So they were fighting against us to don't leave the country. They were not caring about people to come in the country. And then it was like in the Nazi times, like my city was like 50 miles from the border, Timișoara, and from there to go to the border, they check the trains, the bus, the soldiers, they driving all over the place. And the last few miles, on the border, they have towers with lights, and between them, they had guys on the floor looking for you. And
let me ask you this: you didn't tell your wife you were going to do this, or did you?
I told her.
You told her. You wrote a note to her.
She was the only one. So this is not joke what I did, and at least in my case, lots of people, just take it like, okay, I go and so what. In my case, I decided to leave for my kids, not for me, and because I knew they kill people who want to escape, or they put them in jail and you disappear forever. I really pay attention on that, and I risk all my family when I did that.
So freedom was worth that to you?
Yeah, and I realize when I leave, and it's happening something for me on the border, if I take my kids and my wife with me, they can be killed, and maybe I escape, and just my kids will be killed. And my question is, I want to give them good life, and I take them to the border to be executed. So I knew it's harder to leave them home, but like man and father, you have a responsibility, even if you fight for them, to leave them in one okay place and go risk your life. And after then, if God help you, and you can bring them with you.
So you risk your life from the time you decided to do it, from the time you started the journey to when you landed. The first country you landed in was where?
I landed in Yugoslavia, so now it's Serbia, because it was divided by 6 states.
How long did it take?
2 days and 2 nights.
You were on foot?
Yes, because it was no way to go, because they checked. There were checkpoints. They checked the bus. They check everything.
And what did you take with you?
I took nothing.
So you just had the clothes on your back, and
that's it.
When you went under that fence, I know you went into. You had a canal to get across. You got wet.
No, I got wet, but not too wet because I was naked. I keep my clothes like up.
Okay.
And it was April, so my heart was filled that cold water.
So when you got to Serbia, what did you do?
When I got in Serbia, they caught me because I was tired 2 days and nights, and no water, no food, and I drink water on the this farmlands, tractor marks, and because I was not had chance to wash, even my face got infected. I got surgery here. Mm-hmm. So, and I give up in Yugoslavia. They put me in jail. They worked me 12 hours per day,
for how
like
long?
the slave. 3 months after, then I escaped.
You escaped from Serbia?
Yes.
Were you in jail when you escaped?
Yes.
Where did you go from there?
From there, I walked all the Europe up to Den Haag, Netherlands.
How long did that take?
Many months.
How'd you have money for food or for?
Well, I worked in Romania, and we had cash, and I stopped in Germany, and I worked for a while, and I had some Deutschmark in that days. And then when I went in Netherlands, there I asked for political asylum, and after almost 2 years, I received I was approved for US, which was in 1991, July 11, we flew in Portland.
So how long did you stay in the Netherlands?
Almost 2 years.
2 years?
They vet us, yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
4.
You speak 4 languages.
That is why I have an accent.
How did you learn? Where did you learn 4 languages?
Romanian, Hungarian, and German. It was needed in Europe, and now English is needed too. And how I'm American, I speak only English.
So, did you learn this as a boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so you learned the languages. So it wasn't an impediment for you when you went to Serbia. You knew the language. When you went to Netherlands,
I was prepared.
You were prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And then so you stayed 2 years in the Netherlands,
Mm-hmm.
and then you flew where?
Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine. How did you get to Why Portland, Maine?
Oh, the government decided, so they sent us there.
How long did you stay there?
3 months.
Is that when you did your photography?
No. So I stayed there 3 months, and I think we are the few political asylum approvals who we refused the sponsor after 3 months, and with our own money we bought 4 tickets for the Greyhound, and we went straight to San Francisco, 4 days and 4 nights.
So, and again, how did you got on a bus from Portland, Maine?
Greyhound.
Greyhound.
Yeah.
And how did you pay for that?
I had money from Netherlands.
You had money from Netherlands.
So Netherlands, what I did, we decided my wife and the kids learn English, and I went on the black market and I worked like with the farmers and dishwasher, whatever job was, because I knew we need money too.
In Portland, Maine?
No, this was in
This was
Netherlands. So in
Netherlands,
Netherlands, I make that money.
Okay. So you went to Portland, Maine. What did you do there?
No, I was doing nothing. So in 3 months, I just was like in one cage, like lion. So no, I had the feeling. So because I went there and I was ready to go to work. Don't wait. The government give me money, support me 1 year.
And where did you stay in Portland, Maine?
Okay, so when you receive political asylum or this refugees almost same, or I think it's same with political asylum. The government give you for 1 year house, food, money.
Okay.
They support you all these things, and that is why I said I think we are the only few of them who refuse the sponsor the money, and we went on our way with our money. 2 luggages, 2 kids, and God, this is how we got in San Francisco.
You got on a Greyhound and went with how many others?
My 2 boys, my wife, and 2 luggages.
Oh, they were with you in Portland, Maine. How did you get them there?
In 1990, in Romania, they start, in 1989, December 16, start the revolution. I escaped in...
Started the...
Revolution.
Revolution, okay.
Yeah. And I escaped in 4th April. So in December start the revolution, and in 1990 they tried to change from the dictator way to the free society, and they start to give out passports. And in Den Haag they keep me in one camp, and they tried to send me back in Romania, and I made 3 days hunger strike, and then they sent me out in the city, and they give me one apartment where I should stay for the political result. And once I was there, I had my ID card with my street and everything, and God told me to go to the city hall and ask for a visit for my family. And these guys, they were not so in really charge who is legal, who is illegal. They saw I have my address and I have my apartment. They give me the form. I sent the form to my wife, and my wife sold everything what was possible, and with 2 kids, she got the ticket, and they flew to Netherlands.
So they flew from Romania?
Bucharest, yeah, to Netherlands.
to the Netherlands, and then from the Netherlands,
Together, we flew to Portland, Maine.
Portland, Maine. And you had your two children. How old were your children?
One was Chris was 3 and Alex was 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so when you got to Portland, Maine, why California? Why San Francisco?
Well, before then I left. I studied U.S. and I studied where I want to go, and I learned the best places to go in U.S. And once you risk your life, I was thinking, well, I want to be sure where I build the next nets for my next generations. And I learned about how big it's U.S., the economy, the value of the dollar, the political powers, and the military power, and all these things. So when I said, well, this is the best place for me, for my family. And then I learned about California. In that times, they were ranked between countries, the number 4 or 5th, if they just consider California. And it was high tech, which I was very interested in, high tech, and that was the reason. And
what was the first job you had in San Francisco?
Oh, it was assembling. I used to go in 5 years. I went in assembling.
Now, what's assembly?
Floppy disk duplicators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, had you had training in that?
No.
So you just picked that up?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So that is why I believe the America has big help from the legal immigrants. It's not easy to come, and once you decide, you have to usually think you can make it. Can you survive? Can you start the life from down?
Mm-hmm.
Clean garbage, whatever, dishwasher, doesn't matter how smart you are or what you did in your life until then. And I did that. I checked myself. I went to doctor in Romania, and I make full checkup just to know if I'm not sick. I never told them for what, and they said, "Son, you are in good shape." I said, "Thank you, God." I never.
Now let me go back. When you applied to get your wife and 2 children over, what made you do that? How did you think of that?
Because I need them. My life was.
How did you know where to go?
I'm just lucky how I think. So I knew.
Well, that was a God thing.
Yeah, I knew. I figured out. The city hall give out the forms for visit.
Okay.
And I went there, and I was not sure, but I showed them the ID, and they said, "Oh yeah, Den Haag, you are there, fine." And jawohl, she gave me the stuff, the stamp and stuff, and I said, "My family," and I was crying. And when I left, I prepared myself for any kind of things what can happen in my life. And you have to think, okay, you live for family here. You are man, maybe you will be in love with somebody, you lose your family. Your wife is woman and human, maybe she will be in love with somebody because the time and stuff can happen something. Or maybe I go there and I cannot survive because the life is different and I don't know how it's. And I chew all these things and I said, well, doesn't matter what, I'm gonna make it. And when I left, my most painful thing in my life was when I turned off the light and I went to kiss my kids. Goodbye.
That's when you were leaving.
Yeah.
From the time you left, Tibi, from the time that I guess it was the Netherlands, how long were you separated from your wife and children?
1.5 years almost.
1.5 years.
Yeah.
All right, jumping to San Francisco, how long did you stay in California?
18 years.
How long?
18 years. So I worked 5 years assembling in the afternoon, street restaurant, dishwasher, and I used to make appetizer. And Saturday and Sunday I work like security officer to the banks.
Did your wife work?
No. The first 6 months, she stay home with the kids to learn English and prepare them for the school. Alex start on the 3rd grade without to speak English. So he never been in school until then. So the Sanda prepared them. And after 5 years, we opened our company, we bought our house, we sent our kids to good colleges, UCLA and Menlo. And slowly the life start to change and start to look more like in Romania, and the family value.
In San Francisco?
Yeah.
California?
We lived in Livermore, like 40 miles from San Francisco.
So what made you pick Rock Hill, South Carolina, to come?
After 18 years in California, which we put all our heart and all our energy there, and we start to realize this is not what I'm looking for. The family value, for business, for the schools, they start to be very dangerous for us, and I saw it differently. And then my youngest son, Chris, he was supposed to finish the college from UCLA in 2009. And with 2 years before, I decided to come in the East Coast and check some places where we can move. Our goal was to go on East Coast and in one conservative state.
But why Rock Hill?
All right. So I checked from Washington, D.C. down to Florida, and then I was not so excited what I saw, and then I learned in North Carolina they tried to make one small Silicon Valley in the north part and stuff, and I said, well, let's go Raleigh. I went there, I stayed like almost 2 weeks, I checked all the area, and then from there are the triangle by Raleigh, the big three cities. And I was not happy what I saw there. Then I come down to Charlotte, because they said Charlotte is the future and entertainment, and it's not so expensive and stuff. And I come down, and then I look around Concord, and I look around Concord and the other side of the freeway, Gastonia. And then when I went in Gastonia, I got one good sales guy who talked more than me, which is not good sometimes. He said, well, he got house for us, he got business office, and he told me, do you like to fish? I said, yes. Well, guess what? If you can buy boat and you don't have to keep it here, you can keep it like 50 miles from here. I said, where? Rock Hill. I said, okay. I finished the discussion and I went straight in Rock Hill, and then I started to check Rock Hill, and I learned lots of stuff, and God guided you. And 2 colleges we have here, and big roads, and very nice, designed for many years, many generations, I believe. And it's very close to Charlotte, and in my vision, this was my dream area, and with very conservative people, with good family value and good schools. And
how long did you look?
2 years. I start, and in 2009, when my youngest son finished, Chris, we made one meeting, and I told them what we plan to do, and I put on the paper all the plus, financial, all these family values and all the things. And this was first time in my life when I let them to decide by themselves.
Was any question mark in your mind, this is where you need to be?
No. Nope.
Well, let me ask you this. I talk to high schools and young people. The number one question I get is, why is socialism bad? You're somebody who went from a communist country, you risk your life, you risk everything. What would you tell them if you were me?
Please tell them I'm very, very disappointed about people don't know to make difference between good and bad, and the socialist dictator part. We cannot leave it to go to the communists, because it's not right. Socialist, Romania was Republica Socialistă România, So it was socialist. And the party first was popular, then was socialist, and then was communist, but the party. So this was the phase. And the phase of the Communist Party was, which they don't know, what they taught us, it was to share everything, don't have money anymore, live like the animals in one building, use the same cars, and eat how much you think it's right to eat, don't make abuse.
It doesn't work.
This was.
The bottom line, it doesn't work.
No, because for me it doesn't work, because I want to be different than others, and I want to make more than others, and I want to have more than others to be proud and show to my family and my parents how good I am, if I am.
What do you say to those who say, well, you had the drive, you had the brain power, you had to speak 4 languages, 5 now. What would you say to those who say it can't be done? To go from a communist, to go from where you came from to where you are now, successful businessman. For those who say it just can't be done, you're living proof that it can be done.
Can.
But you had to have the drive. What gave you that drive?
My drive gave me, I want to show to myself and to my family and to my parents how good things and how much I can do, and I want to show them I'm really based and I believe in sky is the limit and don't stop me. So I really believe if I don't deserve, let me buy the freeway, just give me some here and there food to don't die. But if I'm able to do whatever I can, leave me, the sky is the limit. Don't stop me.
Was there ever a time that you doubted that you were going to end up where you are now?
No, for some reason I had no idea what I'm gonna do in life, how I'm gonna do in life, but I knew I will be different than others, and I knew I have to work 3-4 times more than the locals because I had nothing and only God and the family, and I was ready to do that.
That's great. That's amazing. Everybody ought to hear this story. You risk everything for freedom.
Yes.
That's great.
And with the socialists, it's the many people don't understand. The socialists, it's one system. They promise and they cannot keep the promise, and they don't step back and they lock you down. And then I want to see you. They're gonna turn off the heater. They give you just water 5 hours per day. The gas, they're gonna give you one to drive 50 miles only. The bread and the milk and the oil, they rationalize it, and they give you one card, and each week you have to stay in line to receive food for the next week. Wow, if you guys want that, God bless you, I don't want that. And everything goes from free stuff. I don't want free stuff. That is, I risk my life. Right. Please don't give me free stuff, but let me do my stuff.
Yeah, that's great. Well, listen, you're a success. You came to Capitol Hill, you went to our committee, gave a great testimony, and everybody ought to hear your story. Everybody. Because I don't know of any, do you know of anybody else that's done what you've done from Romania? I don't.
I don't.
I don't think you do. Well, this is great. Tibi, thank you so much. That's great.
Thanks for your service, and you are doing a wonderful job. And
we're fighting. We're going to fight.
Since I left Romania, you feel all my dreams, and
we just start.
You make me to feel good in what I did to escape from California.
Oh yeah. Well, not everybody. You hear so many people who have an excuse. I can't do this. Well, you had the deck stacked against you, but you made it, and I think everybody ought to hear this.
I believe people who excuse themselves are not strong enough for this life.
But you're willing to risk it.
Yes.